Hello, my name is Brittany and welcome to Family Fridays Paint Night. A few words before we begin. Thank you for your continued interest and support for this workshop. You can expect a new video every third Friday of the month for the foreseeable future until we can resume classes in person at the Art and Spirituality Center. Speaking of which, there are other classes being held virtually if you are interested in taking any of those. I'll leave the link to our virtual calendar in the description box below. As a reminder, my class was made to promote bonding between family and friends. You do not need to be an artist to enjoy art. My art isn't perfect, so don't think yours needs to be either. To all those participating in this activity, I want you to try your best and don't worry about the outcome. My hope is for you to let go, get lost in the artistic process, and forget about what's currently happening in the world, even just for a little bit. One last thing before we begin. Feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, mute, or do anything you need in order to follow along with this video. I normally take over 3 hours to complete a painting, even though my class runs about 2.5 hours. For the sake of time and to make a short video, the clips you see of me painting are sped up significantly. Please, by all means, relax and take your time. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Here is what we will be painting for August of 2021. Disclaimer, this is not my original artwork as I found it somewhere on the internet. I do not take credit for this concept and I wish I could find the original artist to give credit. Think of this as a study of the original artwork. Sadly, summer vacation is coming to an end. On the bright side, hopefully we'll have relief from this heat soon. Let's enjoy these last moments of summer as we paint a nice pink and blue sunset in front of a relaxing sandy beach covered in sea plants. Feel free to take artistic control, change the colors, make additions or adjustments, or change it up completely. The choice is yours. Alright, let's talk about paint. We'll be using acrylic paint for this activity. You can use the fancier, more expensive paints if you want to. For this project, I'll be using paints you can find at your local craft store or even Walmart that are less than $1. We'll need a few colors: white, hot pink, light pink, purple, brown, tan, blue, sky blue, teal blue, yellow, and green. Of course, you don't need all of these specific colors like light pink, teal blue. You can always mix these colors as well. Mixing colors is fun. We'll need a few brushes today: a large flat brush, a medium flat brush, a medium round brush, and a thin detail brush. Some other materials we will need: something to put under the canvas or canvas board such as a tablecloth or newspaper. You can also use a mat board like this one I've used several times. Of course, you need something to paint on. I personally will be using a canvas board, 12 by 16 specifically. You can use an actual canvas of any size as well. Then we have our paints. You'll need a plate to put the paint on. You can also use a palette if you have one. A water cup to clean your paintbrushes. And lastly, a paper towel or an old towel. I'm using the old towel that I have used for other paintings, as you can see here. Okay, order of operations, how this painting will go. First, we're going to work on the background, followed by the sand, measuring about halfway right in the middle of the canvas, and then measuring about halfway of that right there. I'm first going to paint a nice thick line using my teal blue color, probably about an inch, inch and a half thick. Then I'm going to worry about my sky, going from the blue to the pink and that other blue, then the details on the water. Next, I am going to paint out the sand, the little mound on the sand. Then we're going to do our fun clouds. Can't forget our little moon up there. Then we will start painting the sea plants. I think they're called sea oats, and they kind of don't look like sea oats, but that's just what I went with. So we're going to do some of that, draw all of these little lines, and then do the tops of these sea oats, and then some details in the sand. Okay, so I'm going to start off by pouring out all my paint, and just remember, you don't have to have every single specific color that I am pouring out. for instance, this light pink that I'm about to pour out, I just got that hot pink and you could mix it with white and that makes a light pink. For a light blue color, you can use that dark blue color, mix it with white. And to make it darker, you can mix things with black. But just because I have so many colors already, I just use ones that were pre-made. So I'm pouring out my blue, hot pink, light pink, white, sky blue, my teal blue, green, and purple. Okay, with my large flat brush, I just got it wet a little bit and I'm kind of measuring halfway and halfway of halfway. So halfway of halfway, I'm going in with my teal blue color and just making a nice thick line for the water, probably about an inch, inch and a half. And now I'm really just going to be working on my sunset, my background. So I'm just going off of the reference picture, which has it going from a blue to a light pink, hot pink, and then blue again. If you don't want to do that, you can do a sunset using red, orange, yellow. You can make the sky purple if you want to. It is completely up to you. So my paints are a little bit translucent, so I can see the white of the canvas through it. So I'm first doing this layer first, just to have some paint on there, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to do my other layer on top of it, and that's the one that I'm going to be focusing on more. So as you can see, I'm just doing a nice little blend from blue to pink to a darker pink and then blue again, and then I'll be working on the teal of my water and then my sand a little bit. So there's not really much instruction here aside from just have fun blending colors, which is what I love to do. So I will check back in with you when I am going to do my second layer. Okay, so now that the first layer is all nice and dry, I like to have that just so that this layer of paint has something to grab onto. So now I'm using that same color and it appears to be darker. So that is exactly what I wanted. So I'm basically going to be following the same shape and the same outline of what I did here with the first layer. So I'm going from a darker blue to kind of a little bit lighter blue, the lighter pink, the hot pink, darker blue, lighter blue, and then doing like a little bit of a gap between the sky and the water. That's that white line that you see there. So after I have my background just the way I want it, then I will be working on my sand. I will check back in when it is time for the sand. Alright, now I am going to pour out my tan color and also my dark brown for the sand, and also a little bit of yellow just to mix it in there. So first I am going to, right below our teal blue water, I'm going to make a dark brown line just for the sand. And then after that, I'm going to make a nice little mound shape just so that it looks like we have some hills going on in the sand. And then after that, I'm just going to paint it tan and then mix it in with a little bit of yellow and then go back and forth with that brown just to give it a little bit more dimension. I'm just doing a nice generous layer of this paint. I won't go over it twice. Sand is typically not one color. It has layers and different colors, especially of broken up rocks and shells. So I just had fun with this. It was a quick little paint, and we're gonna cover it up with a lot of the sea oats anyways, so don't stress about this so much. We're just painting a nice layer of our tan, yellow, and brown. Alright, so now we are going to work on the clouds, and to be honest, I think the clouds are what is going to take up the most time. It's not that it's hard or anything, just for me personally, I wanted to make it as fluffy, like cotton candy, as much as possible, so the first layers that you see me doing, I'm just mapping out where I wanted my clouds to go, and then whatever color I'm using first, I think I'm using that light pink color, I watered it down just to make it translucent. And so I'm first starting off with a translucent layer because clouds are typically translucent. And then once that dries, I'll go over it again and again to make it a little bit darker. So you can put clouds wherever you want it. My shape of clouds, kind of like an oval shape, a little bit in the middle, and then it kind of tails off on either side. You can do them however you want. Don't forget to put some in some of this pink area as well. And that's basically all I'm doing here. You don't have to add clouds if you don't want to. It actually looks pretty nice. Just the sunset and the color of the sky already. So if you are not feeling up to it, you can completely skip this part or just watch me paint my clouds. It is completely up to you. So a good portion of the video that you will see next is me just being particular about my clouds. So you could get this done pretty fast. If I wanted to, I could probably get this done really fast, but I was just having fun. So have fun painting your clouds, and I will check back in after the clouds are done. Okay, so right here I'm just adding in a little bit of lightness into the dark blue parts of the sky. Just kind of got a watered down light blue paint. I'm just kind of going back and forth making little streaks, and it did kind of cover my clouds a little bit, so I'm just gonna go over my clouds and touch them up as well. Right here, I'm doing the same thing that we did on top. I'm just adding in a little bit of lightness. I think I'm using a light colored blue, and it's mixing with that dark blue just to give the sky a little bit more dimension and make it not so gloomy. Okay, right here I'm going to begin working on the water. So we're hardly going to be using our green color. You could probably just not use it at all and use the teal color, but I'm going in with my teal, white, and my green. The green is closest to that white horizon line that we painted. And I'm just giving the water a nice little layer of both of those colors. And then with my medium flat brush, I'm using the flat side, making it look like a little minus sign. I'm just going in with a little bit of white on the water just to make it look like some waves of the ocean. I am still working on my clouds, so if you've already passed this point, congratulations, you are a way faster painter than I am. But once I'm finally done with these clouds, I am going to paint my moon in like about the top right section of this canvas in the corner, probably about the size of a quarter. Okay, now we are going to start working on the sea plants, and I'm pretty sure these are called sea oats. Could be called something else. I'm not very good with sea plant life. But right here with my small round brush, you can even use your detail brush if you want to. I'm first going in with a brown layer, kind of making it look like grass a little bit. And this is to give the illusion that there is a mound right here, kind of like there's hills in the sand. So first I'm going to go in with my brown, and then I'm going to go in with my green. I did feel like it was a little bit too much green, so after that was dried a little bit, I went back in with the brown to try to mix it in a little bit better. All right, we are pretty much almost done here. So now we are going to work on the stems or the bases of these sea oats. So going off of my reference picture, there's a lot of short little ones on the left side. And then as it gets closer to the right side, there's some longer ones, taller ones, and some medium ones. So you can do it however you want. You can not include these if you don't want to. But I mixed in my green with my darker brown color to give it like an olive green color, just to make it stand out a little bit from like that little grassy thing that we just did. So I'm just going to be making some lines, some curving to the right, some curving to the left, some taller than the others. It is completely up to you. But right now I am doing the top of one of my sea oats, and how I did the tops, well, once we get there I'll explain it more, but right now I am just going to do some of the stems. You see right here there's a little cluster of all of these little short ones, and then I'm going to do the tall ones, and the tall ones kind of have other little like stems, kind of like branches, I don't know what you would call them, coming off of the main piece. So this is what we're doing. We are just going to outline where we want our sea oats to go. So right here, I'm going to start working on the top of my sea oats. I kind of wish I did a little bit more research before I committed to this shape. I was just trying to go off of what I thought I saw in the reference picture, and the reference picture kind of made it look like a raindrop, a teardrop that was a little like kind of fluffy a little bit, kind of like the shape of, I think it's lavender. But sea oats, if you look that up, they kind of look more like wheat-like, kind of like feathers. So I kind of wish I would have done that instead of this shape, but here we are. I am committed. I already did some of the ones on the left, but these bigger ones are a much clearer and better example of how to do it. So right now I am just working on the top of the sea oats, and then we will work on the details of the sand. I forgot to mention right here the colors that I'm using. I'm using that olive green color, and I'm going back in with this brown just to give it a little bit more color and to differentiate it from the stems that we did. Okay, now the very last thing we're going to be doing is just to make the sand look a little bit darker. I am putting in some little grassy parts in this sand just to make it look like more wildlife is growing there. You can do something different if you want. You can put footsteps, you can put shells, you can do like a message in the sand. That would be cute too. Whatever you want to do. But right now I am just adding in more sea plants right here in the sand. And that is it, my friends. Good job if you made it this far and completed the painting. I'm happy with my finished product, and I hope you are with yours too. If your painting looks different from mine, that is totally fine. As you know, I miss everyone, and I really wish I were with my Family Friday class painting alongside them. I'm also happy to know that more people have had the chance and opportunity to do art safely at home and on their own time. I hope these videos bring you joy and you were able to relax and not worry about the current events of the world, even just for a little bit. Please stay safe, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.